We know that when we take the mock leap, or when we take the leap, we are going to have to make sure that we are thinking as we read anytime we see a new text. You practiced last week with Miss Rodney, setting your purpose as you read and thinking as you read. Then you were also practicing answering multiple choice questions and answering that with evidence from the text. And you may or may not have gotten a chance to write a short paragraph. Today, we are going to focus on these first two things, setting our purpose as we read and answering multiple choice with evidence. Let's get into it. Today, you are going to have 9 questions. You're going to have 8 multiple choice questions. Your goal is to get 7 out of those 9 questions correct. Because if we can hit this goal, then we know we're on track to beat the leap. All right, first things first. Whenever we read a brand new text, we have to set our purpose for reading. What do we do to set our purpose for reading? Put it in your brain. I am setting the timer for 5 minutes. During that time, you are going to set your purpose for reading, you are going to read, and you are going to annotate with your genre thinking job to show me that you're thinking as you read. Make sure you're using your scratch paper so I can see you thinking as you read. You have 5 minutes to read our first text. Get ready. Go. I saw 100% of us put our eyes on the text and start reading. I'm coming around to see the genre you jot at the top of your page.
Pardon correction.
Miss Kelly, they are looking.
I'm coming around to see their genre. Genre at the top of your scratch paper so I know which thinking job you're using. One word for the genre. Jot it at the top.
One word.
Good. Yes, you're on track. Keep going. Can you jot your genre at the top of that scratch paper?
Didn't call for this.
This is, why do you think this is?
You're not even on the test one, right?
I'm going to come back and double check.
Thank you.
Jordan Romero. Yes, we're reading about Jordan Romero. We're reading this text, which is going to tell us about his life. What should you be thinking about as you read about Jordan Romero? I want you thinking about what the author's trying to teach you about Jordan Romero. Okay? Go. As 4th graders, we should be able to read 125 words in 1 minute. In 30 seconds, I'm coming around to see your jot for paragraph 3. That's 125 words. You should be on paragraph 3 by now. If you're not there yet, you know you need to start reading faster. I'm coming around to see your jot for paragraphs 1 through 3. Great, then you're going to focus on making your annotations for the rest of the text. Good. Excellent. Keep going. Write that quick note and put that pencil down so that you can focus on it. Good. What if you do anything for yourself? Yes, you're on track. Keep going. Good. What was his dream? Good. Write that quick note. team, real quick, 1, 2, 3, all eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
I want you to take a look at my jots compared to our teammates' jots. Kaden, you're doing a beautiful job identifying what's happening in the first paragraph. What do you notice about my first paragraph jots and Kaden's first paragraph jots? Kaden, do you want to tell us? What's the difference between yours and mine? Who can help Kaden out? What's the difference between my jot and Kaden's jot? Friend over here? He did write complete sentences. That tells me Miss Rodney has done a beautiful job of teaching you that like whenever we write in complete sentences. When we're writing notes for ourselves, we are going to write short, quick ideas. And that's because when we take the leap, do you know what happens to our scratch paper?
What do we do with it? Rip it? Yep.
It goes in the trash. It goes in the trash. So our ideas here are only to help us. It's not for the test. That's why this needs to be quick, so that we're quickly thinking about what we're reading. I'm going to put 3 more minutes on the board. As you're reading, I want your notes to look like quick jots, like I did here. Oops. You see, I have, how many words do I use? Count with me.
1, 2, 3. Wake up, wake up.
Look at paragraph 2. Count with me.
1, 2, 3.
Look at paragraph 3. Count with me.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And notice how I wrote JR. What does JR stand for?
Jordan Romero.
Jordan Romero. I don't even need to write his whole name. I just need a quick note to myself. I want you to spend the next 3 minutes reading, starting at paragraph 4, and writing quick notes instead of complete sentences. Got it? What are you going to write instead of complete sentences?
Quick notes.
All together?
Quick notes.
Quick notes, short jots. You have 3 minutes. Go. Thank you. You're doing great, Kaden. Short notes. I'm seeing Aiden now writing in quick jots. I'm seeing Noah now write in quick jots. Beautiful team. Come on, friend. Going. Yes, keep going. Much better quick jots. You have 1.5 minutes to finish reading all the way to the end. If your jots are getting in your way, you can put your pencils down and just read.
Keep going.
We just had a chance to read with a purpose and think as we read. Now, we're going to practice answering multiple choice questions with evidence. Multiple choice questions can also be called EBSR questions. Remember, our goal today is to get 7 out of 9 of these questions right. We have 8 EBSR questions and 1 constructed response question. We are going to do the habit for our first question together. Then you are going to do the habit for the second question on your own. Whenever we answer multiple choice questions, whether it's now as we practice, whether it's on the mock leap, or whether it's on the leap, these are the 4 things we have to do. What's the first thing we do? My friend in the back, number 1.
Read the question and think about the answer.
Number 2, my friend here.
Go back to the text to find the answer.
Number 3, my friend here.
Read the all answer questions.
Great. And number 4, my friend in the jean jacket.
Select the answers that best matches what you found.
I've noticed that our 4th graders need practice doing step 2, going back to the text to find our evidence. You know how an EL will read a text like over and over and like 16 bajillion times? That's what the EBSR questions are for. They are for us to go back to the text and become an expert on that text. We read the question so we know why we're going back to reread. We're going to practice those 2 steps together. You're going to do steps 3 and 4 on your own. Are you ready? Let's do it. I appreciate how I have 100% of eyes right now. Let's keep rocking and rolling. Thank you for those eyes. First step says to read the question and think about the answer. This question should also be on your computer. You can read it on the board or on your computer. Class, read the question with me in 3, 2, 1. Which of the following best describes Jordan? Read it one more time. Go. Which of the following best describes Jordan? Without looking at the answers. Put the idea in your brain. How would you describe Jordan? I saw it written in a lot of your notes. How would you describe Jordan? Now, let's go back to the text to find the example of how we would describe Jordan. On your scratch paper, I want you to write a number 1 and a number 2. Next to that number 1, write down which paragraph you'll go back to reread. You have 30 seconds to find the paragraph, find and write the paragraph that you're going back to reread. I'm coming around to see which paragraph you put down. Go.
You're writing which paragraph you're rereading.
I see eyes going back to the text to double check so that they know which paragraph they want to read. Yes, Destiny flip back to the text to see which paragraph she's going to reread. 10 seconds to write down which paragraph you're going to reread. Ooh, interesting. I'm going to be interested to see what you choose. Interesting. Okay. I am collecting to see who has what written down, not necessarily that it's accurate. Correct. Yes, Mr. Gregory. Mr. Gregory, Miss Rodney has the same data tracker that I have. If you want to use it with me, if you want to use your own, that's also fine.
Okay.
Good. All right, friends, pencils down. I saw 100% of us chose a paragraph to go back to reread. Now, reread that paragraph, read all the answer choices, then choose the best answer. You have 1 minute to do this. I'm coming around to see what answer you choose on your computer. You do not need to write anything else on your scratch paper, so pencil should be down. 1 minute, 30 seconds, go. Great news. We all knew it was not A, so we can cross out A. We also knew it was not D, so we can cross out D. We're deciding between which of the following best describes Jordan. B, brave, or C, determined. I want us to take a stand. I saw that 7 of us chose B. I think some of us changed our mind. I saw that 10 of us chose C. Why did we choose B or C? Which paragraph should we go back to reread? I want everyone to write on their scratch paper where you wrote your first paragraph you were going to reread, which paragraph we should reread for the correct answer. Go. Fendi has showed me which paragraph she went back to reread. Okay.
Where?
Yes, Destiny showed me which paragraph. Yes. Andrea, Abria told me which paragraph she's reading. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Great. I'm noticing most of us have decided now to reread paragraphs 5 and 6 to prove that he was determined. The correct answer is C. The correct answer is C. Are we allowed to change our answers for these, Mr. Gregory, or not for the first 2?
No, I don't think it.
Great, don't change your answer. Why is determined better than brave? He was climbing mountains. That has to require some bravery. Why is determined a better answer than brave? My friend in the back. I noticed if we reread paragraphs 1 through 3, we could prove that he was brave. But we don't just read the first part of the text. We have to think about what happened in the whole text when we're describing Jordan. In paragraphs 4 through all the way to the end, those paragraphs are about how he's determined. So we have better evidence that he is determined, even though we can think Probably climbing mountains requires some bravery. Most of this text is about Jordan being determined. Excellent job. I noticed when we went back to the text to find evidence and thought about the text more completely, our answer got better. Now, you're going to have a chance to do these steps. As you do these steps, I'm looking for you to go back to the text to find the answer. I'm coming around to take checks on which paragraph you put on your scratch paper. Remember, here's my scratch paper. You should have a 1 and a 2 on your scratch paper to say which paragraph you're going back to reread to prove the answer. On your scratch paper, I'm looking to see which paragraph you're going back to reread. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds to show your habit and choose the best answer. Go. Oops, sorry, Caden. I'm just coming around to see which paragraph you're going back to reread. I see 100% of us have jotted a paragraph that we're going back to reread. Go ahead and choose your answer after you read all the answer choices.